Warren to start. Andrew, do you want to kick us off? Yeah. Warren, you've made changes. How much of it is a roll of the dice? How much of it is a controlled gamble?
Is that the same question?
How much do you believe you've taken, if you like, a step into the unknown, or how much do you believe is it actually not a gamble?
From an attacking perspective, I think it's given us a bit more of an attack option with the 10-12 combination, and then with regard to the two changes up front, there were a couple of things. The one, we wanted to bring in a couple of extra bodies in terms of to our forward pack play, and also the players that, in particular the type 5, a number of the type 5 from last weekend, and loose forwards, an opportunity to go out there and experience what they faced against the All Blacks last weekend, and to go and impose themselves hopefully this Saturday.
Peter Romani goes from captain to not even in the 23.
Yeah, it's a tough call. I mean, you've done that. I mean, we looked at that and we felt it was an opportunity to bring Sam in, and obviously Maro Itoje come off the bench and made an impact. We thought Sam Warburton did the same last week, and we need to get some pressure on the ball and get bodies on the ball, and it's something that Sam's excellent at doing. He's got some rugby under his belt, and look, we could have put Peter on the bench, and we had a long discussion about that, but at the end of the day we felt someone like CJ has had an outstanding Six Nations and good the other night, and his carries, his physicality coming on, you know, the impact he's able to bring off the bench could be significant. And look, Peter's been very unlucky. He's done a great job for us in terms of the games that he's been involved with and captaincy, and you know, we do have the luxury and lucky enough that we've got choices, and we can make changes and use different combinations too.
You said on Saturday evening that you didn't see anything then that wasn't fixable. During the week, have you seen the improvements that you wanted to see?
Look, the guys, you know, all we can ask from the players is, you know, to train well and have an attitude, and you know, in fairness to the All Blacks, they played exceptionally well against us. Look, they were very direct in the way they played. Probably played a bit of Warren ball in the way they played, didn't they? So, whatever that is. And so, you know, we're aware of how physical they were as well, and so we've got to match that physicality on Saturday night, because in fairness to them, they were excellent. They deserved their win. We were pretty happy. We played some good rugby, and we kept the ball for. When we did keep the ball, we did stress them and put them under pressure. We've just got to make sure that we keep the ball for longer periods.
Finally, from me, obviously, two players weren't available for selection, with Robbie Henshaw and George North. Disappointing for them. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, unfortunate with Robbie doing the pectoral muscle, which puts him out. So he's heading back to Ireland. I think he's an operation on Monday, and then George with the hamstring as well. You know, that's it's unfortunate for him, and his tour is over as well. So. We've been very lucky with injuries that we haven't had too many, so to pick them up with the last week or so, you know, it's unfortunate for those players. They've been great for the squad on tour, and I wish them both a speedy recovery.
Warren, what has to be different this week from your point of view?
From our point of view, different is we've got to stop the momentum off 9. If they do come hard off 9, that's going to be an issue for us, making sure that we do that. And we've worked pretty hard this week. But look, the All Blacks may come with a different plan. They may come to throw the ball around. They may come with a plan to kick the ball a bit more. And we've got to be ready for that. The changes up in that discipline is a key for us. You know, making sure that we don't give away soft, unnecessary penalties. There was 2 or 3 last weekend which changed the momentum, and it's changed the momentum of the game. We saw that against the Hurricanes, you know, again on Tuesday night. A couple of soft penalties, which were pretty costly for us in the second half. So, and you know, I've said all along, we've got to be more physical up front, and players are aware of that, and we've spoken about that as a group.
Will you have to be more switched on, for want of a better phrase, in the opening 15-20 minutes, because you've coughed up some points in a lot of key games in that period of time?
I think we've been pretty good there. I think disappointing that Aaron Smith's been able to take a quick, or not really, it wasn't even a quick tap. He's been able to tap the ball and catch us out, and we've been caught there. And we've got to stay alive and be accurate as much as we possibly can, and make sure we don't get caught in those situations. A couple of lucky tries from their point of view in terms of the bounce. Obviously, they've put us under pressure with a scrum penalty. So we worked hard on our scrum this weekend and making sure that that's strong for 80 minutes. We thought our line out was excellent. We put their line out under some pressure, and there were times where we've identified where we've created chances. We just needed to put the ball through our hands, and so we've created chances. We've created 3-on-2s. It's just making sure we execute those chances.
And given the experience of last week and the changes that you've made this week, do you think that you're in a better position to cope with what New Zealand may throw at you on Saturday night?
I think so. I think for those players that experience that, it's not going to be a shock for them in terms of, they brought a physicality, and I can understand 4 of the tight 5 were involved against us for the Crusaders. They were probably pretty pumped up and disappointed about losing against the Crusaders. So sometimes you get pretty motivated about a loss, and it does spur you on for the next game. And I thought their tight 5 were excellent, and it's a big challenge for our tight 5 to match that and to step up also. So we're pretty well aware of the big challenge that's ahead of us. I thought it was interesting talking to the referee, who said to me, that for him as a referee, that was a huge step up from anything he'd done in terms of Bledisloe Cup or Championship rugby. So he just thought there was another level in terms of the pace and intensity of the game. But so we've experienced that as a group of players, and we should cope better with that on Saturday.
Warren, Farrell and Sexton haven't started together yet on this tour. Was this quite a late call in the selection meeting, or is it something you've been planning all week in training?
No, we looked at it. They haven't started together, but they've had quite a bit of time together, and the combination against the Crusaders was good, and they had a bit of time last weekend as well. And it's just given us two ball players, 2 kicking options on the right foot, first and second receiver, and the left foot options with Jonathan Davies and Elliot Daly as well. So we're nice, happy with the mix. One concern we have got, and we've been looking at the long range of weather forecast, and it doesn't look great for Saturday night. So we may have to change tactically the way that we're going to play, and we need to do defensively a job on Sonny Bill Williams as well. So he came pretty direct against us and got a couple of offloads away. So that's going to be important that we try and shut him down.
So is the lack of size a bit of a concern in the backline?
No, not at all.
And just finally for me, Steve Hansen just called an end to this war of words between the two of you. Is that quite ironic, considering he started all of it?
I think I've been pretty mild, and I haven't tried to be complimentary of the All Blacks, and obviously they're the best team in the world, and it's been a great experience for us as a team. The hospitality in New Zealand has been unbelievable. The treatment we've had from the fans, and wherever we've been, it's just been absolutely brilliant. So it's been, I don't know if there's any hostility from this side, but hopefully we can have a good game of rugby and maybe enjoy a beer together afterwards.
With Alan Wynne back in again, is it a big game for him? Is he in there as much for his leadership and balance out some guys who haven't got as much experience?
It is a big game for him. I think he knows that. He was a bit disappointed with last weekend how it went, and he's pretty focused and pretty motivated to. It's potentially a one-on-one challenge with him with his opposition, and normally in the past when he's had those sort of challenges, he's really fronted the next game. So look, he's trained well this week, and I think he's looking forward to Saturday night.
And so, Ben Taylor, is it tough on him to drop out this?
It has been tough, and Ben's done really well and carried well for us, defended well. So look, it's been a tough call for him, but he will get some game time coming off the bench. So we've made a call on the amount of possession and opportunities we've created. We think we did stress the All Blacks at times because they got pretty narrow, and they got narrow because they played that way in terms of from an attacking perspective. So it does open up some opportunities for us, if we do get the ball back, to be able to attack them as well. So and that's why we've gone with the combinations we have.
In terms of you said shut down Sonny Bill without Ben there, do you have to sort of alter your setup to do it differently?
No, I think it's just making sure. I mean, we allowed him a bit too much time on the ball last week. He was, I can't remember Sonny Bill passing the ball during the game, but he got some good gain line for them, and got a couple of offloads away as well, and got them some front football. So we need to make sure that our line speed, in terms of stopping that, has to be as important for us to not allow him to be as effective as he was, and we've been working pretty hard on that this week.
Warren, your line speed is something that's been winning you games. Obviously the All Blacks were able to shut it down last time. If they're able to do so again, do you feel you've still got enough in your armoury to be able to win this game? Yeah,
I mean, look, in fairness to them, we said afterwards, if you want to stop line speed, you can do it in a couple of ways. It's either you come pretty hard off 9 and it stops your line speed out wide, or you tack close and then attack the short side, or you use a kicking strategy to stop line speed, and that's and they've gone about it doing one way. They may come with a different plan on Saturday. We've got to be prepared for that, and we've worked hard on sort of all three scenarios of potentially what they may come to do, come at us, and making sure that we're prepared.
Well,
Warren, is this the biggest match of your coaching career on Saturday?
I haven't thought about it like that. It's a big challenge for us as coaches and players. We know that we need to. The series is on the line, isn't it? So I think for a lot of players, and they've spoken about it being the biggest match of their careers. And it's not about me; it's about the players and the team. But I think we're all aware as coaches that it is a massive game. Yeah.
And does it have that sort of cup final feel for the players? The fact that it's a do or die, and if you lose, it's all over.
It doesn't really have a cup final feel. It kind of it means it's getting winning on Saturday is getting to a cup final then, and then the following week we'll have a cup final feel. So it's definitely it's kind of a knockout game, isn't it? You lose on Saturday and the series is over. So and we're all pretty aware of that.
Warren, Israel Dave was talking about how his workload's going to kind of be through the roof with your attacking options off both sides of the ruck. The absence of Ben Smith there, did that come into your thinking at all when you went with Sexton and Farrell at 10 and 12?
No, we weren't quite sure about what team they were going to pick, and obviously with Ben out and someone said he's been rested for as precautionary. And look, if it's a head injury, we've had a few concussions, and obviously players' welfare and safety is the most important thing. So I just hope he's all right. And look, he's an absolute quality player, one of the best fullback in world rugby, and but they've got the ability to put Israel Dag back there and then bring the Holo on the wing. Cause us some problems down in Dunedin. So look, they make some changes and take out a world-class player, but then they're able to have the depth to bring in real quality as well.
It's a homecoming of sorts for Winnie Polar as well. Obviously, being born here, speak about maybe what you like about his character on and off the pitch, and what you maybe know about his upbringing since then.
I don't know a lot about his upbringing, so it's great for me. Look, he's the Tongan community seem to come out of the woodwork. He's got more cousins and relations in the last few weeks than he's ever had in his life. So and that just adds to it. Look, he's as a character, he's got a real sense of humour in the squad. He's pretty vocal. He's not quite the experience he's now got as a player. He's happy to lead and talk to the group, and that experience is pretty important for us. And I've been pleased for him because he's kind of, I think he's deserved and established himself as a number one loose head on this tour, and his work rate's been exceptional, and we highlighted that during the week in terms of last weekend the number of carries he had and how hard he worked in terms of getting into position, making tackles and carrying us and giving us some go forward. So look, he's been great. I will go and ask him about his upbringing now. So I've heard more about his upbringing in Pontypool more than his upbringing in Wellington. So, but look, he's been outstanding on this tour.
Ross, please.
Warren, what has Sam Warburton's attitude been like this week, and what does his selection tell us about the way you're going to approach breakdown?
Look, he's been brilliant on that. He knows that he was a little bit short of game time. We need to be more effective at the breakdown and competing more. The All Blacks got some go forward. They got some quick quality ball last weekend, so we need to make sure we're a bit more effective. So look, his role to go out there and even though he's playing six, he's as good as any player in world rugby in terms of being able to get on the ball and either create turnovers, penalties, or to slow the ball down. And he's well aware of his role and making sure that defensively he gets pretty hard off the line and wins those defensive collisions. And we saw that when he came on, the impact that he had. So he's well aware of what his role is going to be this weekend, and hopefully that combination with him and Sean O'Brien works as effective as well, because I think Sean's had an outstanding tour to date, and I think the balance of those two will be pretty good.
Miles and then Miles.
Warren, in view of the weather forecast and the way in which the game could well be played and the quality of the forwards you've had to leave out, did you consider, and their form as well, perhaps Henderson, Tipperick, not just O'Mara, did you consider 6-2 split on the bench?
Yeah, we did. We had a good look. We had a long debate about the 6-2 split, and in the end, we just felt that was it too much of a risk that if we lost a couple of backs and then having to put a 9 somewhere else, given that we've got a couple of players that they haven't always had the greatest injury record in terms of big matches, and we just felt that it was just probably at this stage if we did lose someone, and we saw the All Blacks last weekend losing two backs and potentially the pressure that puts you under having to put a 9 on and somewhere else and move them around. So but we did have a long discussion about that.
I'll take one more please from Niall.
Warren, how close was Ian Henderson to selection, and did the yellow card the other night have any effect on his exclusion?
Yeah, look, the yellow card was disappointing. He would have been disappointed. I thought his carrying was outstanding. Again, he's caused teams a lot of problems. I had a chat to him today and just said, look, keep your head up. We spoke a lot about you and potentially being involved in the 23, and Courtney Laws has done a really good job as well while he was on, and ends been causing teams problems with his carrying, and I think he's got better from game to game. And I said, just because you're not involved this weekend, it doesn't mean that potentially you're going to be excluded for the next match.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.